Have you ever wondered why certain dreams pull you so strongly, almost as if they're calling your name from a distance? Why some visions refuse to die inside you no matter how many setbacks come your way? It's because what you want is not something you're chasing, it's something that is already connected to you. The moment you truly desire something with clarity, the universe begins aligning every event, every person, every opportunity to bring it into your path. You are not moving toward your dream alone. Your dream is moving toward you. Today I'm going to show you why what you want already exists, why it's already yours, and why you're moving toward it faster than you've ever realized. Your desire is proof that the reality already exists. Every desire that enters your heart carries meaning far greater than you realize. It is not a coincidence, not an accident, and not just a random thought that happened to appear in your mind. A true desire, especially the kind that stays with you no matter how much time passes, is actually a signal coming from a reality that already exists within the quantum field of infinite possibilities. In other words, you don't desire something because it is far away. You desire it because somewhere in the field of potential, a version of you already has it, already lives it, already experiences it. That desire is a thread connecting your present self to that future timeline. And every time the desire becomes stronger, the connection becomes clearer. When you feel pulled toward a dream with unusual intensity, whether it's a vision of a better life, success, peace, love, healing, or transformation, it is not your mind playing tricks on you. It is your inner being responding to a future version of yourself that is calling out to you. This is why some desires enter your mind and leave quickly, while others stay, grow, and become impossible to forget. The ones that stay are not just wishes, they are glimpses of who you are meant to become. They are echoes of a parallel reality, gently reminding you that something greater is possible for you. This is why desire should never be treated as foolish or unrealistic. Desire is guidance. Desire is direction. Desire is direction. Desire is communication from the universe. When you feel inspired by a certain path, when something lights you up inside, when you feel a deep emotional pull toward something you can't fully explain, it is because a version of you already aligned with that dream is trying to reach you. It's like a memory from your future self, reaching backward through time and tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "This is where you're meant to go. This is who you're meant to become. Follow this feeling." Desire, therefore, is not just about wanting something. It is about remembering something. The life you want is not something you must fight for as if you're chasing something outside of you. It is something that already belongs to you on an energetic level. The only thing you must do is align your inner state, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your expectations, with the version of you who already has it. When you elevate your mindset, when you begin to think from the perspective of having instead of lacking, when you allow yourself to feel worthy of the life you desire, you shift closer to the timeline that matches that desire. The universe does not respond to force. It responds to alignment. When you raise your state of being, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of the reality you want. That vibration is what collapses the distance between what you desire and where you currently stand. That is why your dream feels real inside you, because on some level, you are not imagining something impossible. You are remembering something destined. The dream already exists. The timeline is already alive, and your desire is simply the invitation to step into it. You, sir, not creating the future, you, sir, tuning into it. Most people grow up believing they have to build their entire future from nothing, as if life is a blank canvas and everything depends purely on hard work, luck, or circumstances. But the deeper truth, the quantum truth, is that you are not creating your future out of thin air. You are tuning into a version of reality that already exists. Every possible life you can imagine already lives in the field of infinite possibilities. The version of you who is successful, confident, healed, wealthy, peaceful, loved, and aligned already exists. And the version of you who stays stuck, doubtful, fearful, and confused also exists. You're not inventing a new reality, you're shifting between the realities that are already available. This is why your thoughts and emotions matter so much. They are not just reactions to life, they are signals, frequencies, vibrations. Imagine the universe as a massive field filled with millions of radio stations. Every station is a different timeline, a different version of your life, a different outcome. When you think, when you feel, when you believe something deeply, you tune your mind like a radio. You match the frequency of the timeline that corresponds to that state. This is why negative thinking pulls you into negative experiences, and why powerful thoughts and elevated emotions pull you toward better outcomes. You are not attracting something from outside, you are tuning into a reality that matches your inner state. People who constantly think from a place of fear unintentionally tune into timelines where fear becomes real. People who constantly think from a place of lack attract more experiences of lack because that is the frequency they're aligning with. And people who shift their mindset, raise their energy, and align with possibility begin tuning into timelines where those possibilities naturally unfold. It's not magic, it's resonance. When you resonate with a certain outcome, you vibrate at the same level as the version of you who already has it, and that's what pulls you toward that timeline. This is why visualization, intention, and belief are so powerful. When you visualize your dream, you're not just imagining something nice, you're aligning your mind with the frequency of a timeline that already exists. When you believe in something even before you see it, you magnetize yourself to that future. And when you act as if it's already done, you speed up the merging between your current reality and the one you desire. You become a match for the life you want. You don't need to force things. You don't need to chase outcomes. You don't need to beg the universe. You simply need to tune yourself to the reality you want. This tuning happens through your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your self-talk, your energy. Every time you choose trust over doubt, alignment over fear, clarity over confusion, you shift into a timeline that moves you closer to the future you desire. So understand this deeply. You are not building the future step by step from scratch. You are aligning yourself with the version of your life that already exists. When you change your inner frequency, the external world naturally rearranges itself to match your new state. What looks like coincidence, luck, or sudden opportunities is actually the universe responding to your new alignment. Your job is not to struggle to create a future. Your job is to tune into it. Once you do that, the path becomes clearer. Opportunities appear, people show up, and the reality you want begins to unfold with a level of ease that feels almost unreal. You start moving toward it even when you don't feel it. There are moments in life when everything feels slow, heavy, or completely still. You wake up, go through the motions, and wonder why nothing seems to be changing. You look at your life and see no signs of progress. You question your path. You question your timing. You question yourself. But what you don't realize is that movement in the physical world is always the last stage of change. The real shifts, the powerful ones, begin beneath the surface long before you ever see the results with your eyes. Just because life looks still doesn't mean energy isn't moving. In the quantum field, progress is not always visible. The universe works in layers, arranging, redirecting, and preparing you in ways you may not understand yet. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door is actually movement. Movement away from what is not aligned, and movement toward what is. You might think you're stuck because your situation hasn't changed yet, but the truth is that you are being guided, shaped, and aligned with a bigger timeline. The universe is always adjusting the path, removing the wrong people, protecting you from dangers you can't see, and strengthening you for the blessings that require a stronger version of you to hold them. Think of it like the roots of a tree growing underground. You don't see the roots, you don't see the expansion, but it's happening. The deeper the roots grow, the stronger the tree becomes when it finally emerges. Your life works the same way. The universe builds your foundation in silence before it reveals the results in the open. Everything you're experiencing right now, the weights, the setbacks, the silence, is part of that hidden growth. You are expanding even when you feel like you're standing still. Life moves you through phases that don't always make sense in the moment. Sometimes things fall apart because the timeline you were attached to was too small for who you're becoming. Sometimes your progress is slowed down because certain pieces that will matter to your future haven't arrived yet. Sometimes you are redirected because the path you chose would have led you into unnecessary pain. And sometimes the universe delays the blessing because the version of you who asked for it is not the version of you who will receive it. This is not punishment, it is alignment. You may think you're not moving because the outcome hasn't shown up, but what you want is being prepared just as much as you are being prepared for it. The right people are being placed in the right positions. The right opportunities are being timed perfectly. The right circumstances are being orchestrated with incredible precision. You can't see the full picture yet, but if you could, you would understand that nothing is stagnant. Life is happening behind the scenes for you, not against you. This is why you should never interpret silence as failure. Silence often means the universe is working on a higher level, rearranging your path and clearing obstacles you don't even know exist. It's why breakthroughs come suddenly, not because they appeared out of nowhere, but because the unseen work finally reached the surface. Just like the sun rises gradually, then suddenly lights up the whole world, your progress grows quietly, then shows up all at once. So even on the days when you feel tired, lost, or unsure, remember this: movement is happening, alignment is happening, progress is happening. You are being guided toward the reality you desire, even if the steps are invisible right now. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are in motion. You are transforming. You are aligning with the version of yourself who already lives the life you want. And with each moment, each decision, each breath, you move closer to that timeline, faster than you realize. Your dream is pulling you like a magnet. There is a reason why certain dreams refuse to leave you alone, no matter how many times life knocks you down or how far you drift away from them. Some dreams stay quietly inside your heart for years, growing stronger instead of weaker, even when circumstances around you seem to do the opposite. And this isn't because you are stubborn or unrealistic. It's because your dream is not something you are chasing. It is something that is pulling you. Just like a magnet doesn't chase the metal, but pulls it automatically, your dream pulls you with a force that comes from a deeper, unseen connection in the quantum field. The version of you who has already achieved that dream is vibrating on a timeline that is trying to merge with your current reality. That pull you feel, that inner excitement or restlessness, is not imagination, it is alignment in motion. This is why some desires burn softly, while others burn like fire. The dreams that are meant for you come with a different intensity. They revisit your mind at random moments. They show up in your daydreams. They appear in your imagination when you're going through difficult times. They whisper to you when you're quiet, reminding you that there is a life beyond your fears and limitations. Even if you stop working toward them for a while, they return. Even if you try to forget them, they find a way back into your heart. That persistence is the dream's energy pulling you toward itself. It knows you. It belongs to you. It is part of your soul's blueprint. Every time you feel inspired by your dream, it gets stronger. Every time you visualize it, the magnetic pull increases. Every time you take even a small action toward it, The timeline shifts a little more in your favor. But even during the times you feel lost or discouraged, the dream continues pulling you quietly. This is why you can't truly let go of something that is meant for you, because the future version of you who has already lived that dream continues calling you forward. That pull is your confirmation. It is proof that the dream is not fantasy, it is destiny. Think of your dream as an energetic beacon sending signals across time. Your heart hears those signals long before your eyes see the results. That is why you feel connected to things you haven't experienced yet. That is why you feel emotional about a life you haven't lived yet. That is why some visions move you deeply, even though you have no logical reason for them. You are not imagining something that doesn't exist. You are feeling something that already exists. The dream is alive in another version of reality, and the magnetism you feel is the bridge between who you are now and who you are becoming. This magnetic pull is also why your dream feels painful when you ignore it. Not because you're failing, but because your soul is misaligned with its own path. When you move away from the dream, the discomfort you feel isn't punishment, it's guidance. It's the dream saying, "Come back. This is your direction. This is your purpose." The more aligned you become, the stronger the pull feels. The more you grow, the closer you get. The more you trust the process, the more the path unfolds naturally. So understand this, your dream doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be allowed. It needs to be responded to. It needs to be aligned with. When something is meant for you, it will always pull you in subtle ways, through intuition, through desire, through signs, through inspiration, through synchronicities. This pull is your greatest gift. It is the universe's way of telling you that the dream is real, the timeline is active, and the future is waiting. Your only job is to follow that pull with courage and openness. The magnetism is already working. The future is already calling. And every day, whether you know it or not, you are moving closer to the life that belongs to you. You collapse timelines when you change your state of mind. Most people believe that the distance between themselves and the life they want is measured in time, effort, or physical steps. They think they must wait months or years for change. That transformation is slow, and that progress depends entirely on external conditions. But in the quantum reality, the distance between you and your dream is not measured in time or space. It is measured in state of mind. The moment you shift your inner state, the way you think, feel, believe, expect, and interpret the world, you immediately move closer to the timeline where your desired reality already exists. This means that life does not change when years pass. Life changes when you change. The version of you who already has the life you want thinks differently, reacts differently, carries themselves differently, believes differently. They do not operate from fear, doubt, or insecurity. They operate from clarity, confidence, trust, and vision. So when you adopt even a fraction of their mindset, you begin collapsing the gap between the present version of you and the future version of you. You start merging timelines. You start shifting realities. You're not waiting for the future to come to you. You're pulling it into your now. This is why staying stuck often feels like repeating the same emotional habits over and over again. You keep choosing the same thoughts, the same doubts, the same fears, the same patterns, and those habits force you to remain tuned to the timeline where nothing changes. Your outer world won't shift while your inner world stays the same. You cannot live a different reality while thinking the same thoughts that created your current one. The moment you elevate your mindset, you elevate your timeline. The moment you shift your emotional state, you shift your destiny. Changing your state of mind doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing alignment over fear, choosing belief over doubt, choosing vision over memory, choosing expansion over limitation. Every time you refuse to fall back into old thinking, you collapse a part of the old timeline that no longer belongs to you. And every time you step into the mindset of the version of yourself who already has what you desire, you activate the timeline where that reality is normal, natural, and available. Think of it this way: the universe responds instantly to your inner state. Not eventually, instantly. When you raise your vibration, the energy around you reorganizes to match it. When you shift your belief, life starts adjusting to your new perception. When you act like someone who expects good things begin moving toward you. This doesn't mean results will appear in minutes, but it means the timeline that leads to those results will lock into place the moment you align with it. You collapse years of waiting when you stop thinking like the version of yourself who is waiting, hoping, or doubting. This is why some people experience sudden breakthroughs after years of struggle. It's not that the universe suddenly decided to bless them. It's that their inner shift finally matched the frequency of the blessing that had been waiting all along. Reality is flexible. Time is flexible. The future is flexible. The more aligned and elevated your emotional state becomes, the faster the timelines collapse and the faster the results appear. This is why a single moment of clarity can change the direction of your entire life. One powerful decision, one deep realization, one shift in identity. That is all it takes to merge with a higher timeline. The key is to live as the version of yourself who already has what you desire, not someday, not when things get better, not when the opportunity comes, but now, in the thoughts you choose, the emotions you allow, the standards you hold, the energy you embody. When you consistently choose that version of yourself, the universe has no choice but to reorganize everything around you to match your new identity. When you become aligned internally, the outer world aligns naturally. So understand this deeply. The gap between you and your dream is not time, it is not distance, it is not luck. It is simply an inner state. And the moment you shift that state, the moment you elevate your mindset and embody the energy of the person you're meant to become, the timelines collapse, the path becomes clearer, opportunities unlock, and life begins moving in your favor with a speed that feels almost supernatural. You are never far from your dream. You are only one shift of consciousness away. The universe aligns people, events, and opportunities for you. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have is thinking that they are walking through life alone, relying only on their effort and strength to make things happen. They believe that if they are not constantly pushing, forcing, or chasing, nothing will move. But in the quantum reality, movement does not begin with physical action, it begins with alignment. When your intention is clear, when your energy is stable, and when your heart is tuned to the frequency of what you desire, the universe begins rearranging the world around you with a precision far beyond anything you could orchestrate on your own. Things start shifting quietly. People you need begin moving closer. Opportunities begin forming. Paths begin opening. Events begin synchronizing. All of this happens long before you see any evidence on the outside. The universe operates like a master architect. While you are focused on your next step, it is designing the entire structure. While you are worried about how things will unfold, it is positioning the right people in the right places. While you are questioning your timing, it is preparing circumstances that will come together at the perfect moment. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Every conversation, every delay, every closed door, every unexpected connection, every moment of waiting, all of them are pieces of a larger pattern that is working in your favor, even if you don't understand it yet. Think about the people who have entered your life unexpectedly and changed its direction. Think about the opportunities that appeared when you least expected them. Think about the moments when a setback pushed you into something better. None of that was an accident. You may not realize it, but you are constantly being guided by forces that operate beyond your awareness. There are events unfolding right now that you are not aware of. There are people getting ready to cross your path, who will help elevate you. There are opportunities forming in silence, aligning perfectly with your energy and your timeline. The reason delays happen is not because your dream is being pushed away, it's because something is still being prepared. You might think you're ready, but maybe the environment isn't. Maybe the people you will need haven't arrived at the right stage of their own journey. Maybe the opportunity you've been asking for requires a different set of conditions. Maybe you need to grow a little more before you can hold the blessing without losing yourself. Nothing is delayed without purpose. The universe doesn't withhold, it rearranges, it doesn't punish, it prepares, it doesn't deny, it aligns. Sometimes the universe removes people not to hurt you, but to clear space for someone who matches your future, not your past. Sometimes it closes doors because the version of you on the other side is not meant to meet the version of you that exists right now. Sometimes events fall apart because they were too small for the reality you're stepping into. And sometimes the universe slows you down because rushing would have placed you in the wrong timing, in the wrong environment, or in the wrong company. What feels like a delay is often divine protection disguised as stillness. There are forces working on your behalf that you cannot see, and that is why trust is so important. When you trust the universe, you open yourself to the invisible work being done for you. When you stop trying to control every detail, the universe finally has room to move things into place. When you stop doubting your path, you allow the right energies to reach you. The universe is always responding to your inner world, not your outer pressure. It aligns with your vibration, not your fear. The clearer your energy, the smoother the path becomes. And here is the most powerful part: when the universe finally aligns everything, it happens fast. What felt like years of waiting can unfold in a moment. That person you needed to meet suddenly appears. That opportunity you thought was gone returns in a better form. That breakthrough you prayed for arrives without warning. Everything that once felt disconnected suddenly forms a perfect pattern. It is in that moment you understand that nothing was random, nothing was wasted, and nothing was ever working against you. The universe was always guiding you, always preparing you, always aligning things for the reality you were meant to step into. So remember, you are not alone in this journey. You are supported. You are guided. You are aligned. Even the moments that confuse you are part of a greater strategy designed for your highest timeline. What you want already exists, and the universe is constantly moving people, events, and opportunities to bring it closer to you. You are walking a path that is being built beneath your feet with every step you take, even if your eyes have not yet seen the full masterpiece. It's already yours. Your only job is to align. There comes a moment in your journey when you must understand the difference between wanting something and becoming aligned with it. Wanting is passive. Wanting says, maybe someday. Wanting creates distance because it comes from a place of longing, from the belief that the thing you desire is somewhere outside of you. Alignment, on the other hand, collapses that distance instantly. Alignment says, this is mine in the unseen world, and I am becoming the version of myself who can hold it. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to energetic certainty. It responds to identity. It responds to the internal state you live in every single day. What you desire already exists. The question is whether you are aligned with the version of yourself who receives it. Your dream isn't waiting for you in the future like a prize you must earn. It already exists as a completed reality in the quantum field. The universe is not deciding if you are worthy of it. The universe is waiting for you to match the vibration of the reality you are asking for. And matching that vibration is not about pretending, forcing, or acting like someone you're not. Alignment is about becoming internally coherent with your desire. Your thoughts, emotions, choices, beliefs, and expectations must all point in the same direction. When your inner world becomes unified, the outer world cannot help but mirror it back to you. This is why the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you have become. You can want abundance while thinking poor. You can want love while believing you're unlovable. You can want success while expecting failure. You can want peace while choosing chaos. You can want transformation while living with the habits of your past self. This inner conflict blocks the timeline where your dream already exists. The moment you resolve that conflict, the moment you decide to think, act, speak, believe, and expect like the version of yourself who already has the blessing, the timeline collapses and the reality starts unfolding faster than you ever imagined. Alignment requires internal honesty. It requires you to let go of the versions of yourself that no longer belong in your future. You cannot carry doubt into a reality built on belief. You cannot carry fear into a reality built on expansion. You cannot carry low standards into a reality built on self-respect. You cannot carry your old identity into a future that is calling for a new you. The universe isn't withholding your blessing. It is waiting for you to become the person who can sustain it. This is why inner work matters more than physical effort. You don't chase a higher timeline. You rise to meet it. Most people think they need more time, more opportunities, more proof before their dream can become real. But the truth is that you don't need more time. You need more alignment. You don't need more signs. You need more certainty. You don't need the world to change. You need to shift your frequency. When you align your thought patterns with trust instead of doubt, when you align your emotional state with gratitude instead of fear, when you align your identity with growth instead of limitation, the universe responds instantly. You become a magnet for everything that matches your new internal state. This is why the most powerful phrase you can ever say about your dream is not, "I hope so," or "maybe one day." The most powerful phrase is, "It's already mine." Not because you are forcing a belief, but because you are recognizing a truth. The timeline where your desire exists is real, alive, and accessible. When you claim it with certainty, you shift your entire energy system to match the frequency of that reality. The universe hears your clarity and begins rearranging every detail. The people you meet, the choices you make, the opportunities that appear, the ideas that flow to you, all aligning with the timeline you have chosen. This is the quantum law. When your inner world becomes a perfect match for the reality you desire, that reality must appear in your outer world. It is not a matter of if, only when. And the when depends on how consistently you stay aligned. You are never waiting for the universe. The universe is waiting for you, waiting for your certainty, your clarity, your readiness, your embodiment. When you fully become the person who is compatible with the blessing arrives effortlessly and naturally. So understand this deeply. Your dream is not ahead of you. It is not separate from you. It is not distant or uncertain. It already exists, and the universe already considers it yours. Your only task is to align your mind, your heart, your energy, and your identity with the version of yourself who lives that reality. When you do that, everything changes. Doors open, timelines collapse, opportunities accelerate, life rearranges itself. What felt impossible becomes obvious. What felt far becomes close. And what felt like a dream becomes the life you are living. It's already yours. It always has been. Now is the time to align with it. 8. Your belief shapes the quantum field faster than your actions ever will. One of the most misunderstood truths about manifestation, alignment, and quantum reality is the belief that action alone creates results. People are taught to push, grind, hustle, and struggle as if physical effort is the only language the universe understands. But in the quantum world, belief is a far more powerful architect than action. Belief is the blueprint. Belief is the signal. Belief is the frequency that instructs the universe on what to build around you. Your actions matter, but they are not the foundation. They are the expression of an inner state. The real transformation begins inside you long before anything changes in the physical world. When your belief is weak, your actions lose power. You can take 100 steps forward, but find that nothing truly shifts because your inner world is still vibrating at the level of doubt, fear, or uncertainty. But when your belief is strong, even a small action carries electric energy. It becomes amplified. It becomes magnetic. The universe responds to it immediately because your belief has already created the energetic structure that your actions now begin to fill. This is why two people can take the exact same steps, yet one succeeds with ease while the other struggles endlessly. It's not the steps, it's the belief behind the steps. Belief is not pretending. It is not forcing yourself to think positively. It is the deep internal knowing that the reality you desire is not just possible. It is already encoded into your future. It is the confidence that the path will unfold, the right people will appear, and the opportunities will align, even if you do not yet know how. When your belief reaches this level of inner certainty, the quantum field begins rearranging itself immediately. Events accelerate. Synchronicities multiply. Doors open that you didn't even knock on. Life starts responding to you with a speed that feels almost supernatural because your belief is now acting as the command center for your reality. Belief also determines which version of the future you step into. If you believe that life is difficult, you will tune into timelines where things feel heavy and slow. If you believe that you are unlucky, you will encounter experiences that reflect that expectation. If you believe that blessings are rare, you will overlook the ones that are already around you. But if you believe that the universe is generous, supportive, and responsive to your energy, you begin to shift into timelines where life becomes smoother, opportunities multiply, and pathways open effortlessly. This is because belief doesn't just shape your external world, it shapes you. When you believe in your dream, your energy changes. Your decisions change, your habits change, your confidence changes, your presence changes. You stop operating from survival mode and begin stepping into creation mode. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. You stop questioning your worthiness and start embodying the version of yourself who deserves the life you're calling in. This internal shift is what collapses timelines. You don't attract the future. You match it. And here is the part no one teaches you. The universe mirrors belief faster than behavior. Your behavior might be inconsistent. You might take one step forward and then pause. You might start and stop, try and fail, rise and fall. But your belief can remain the same, even through those fluctuations. And as long as your belief remains rooted, strong and aligned, the universe will keep pulling you toward the timeline where your desire already exists. Belief is the anchor that keeps you connected to your future self, even when your current reality does not yet reflect that identity. So understand this deeply. Your belief is not just a mindset. It is a vibration. It is an instruction to the universe. It is a silent command that says, "This is who I am. This is what I align with. This is the reality I choose." When belief becomes unwavering, the universe bends timelines to meet you. It rearranges circumstances. It accelerates events. It dissolves obstacles. It magnifies opportunities. It transforms coincidences into divine timing. Your belief is the key that unlocks the door to the reality that is already yours. Strengthen that belief, nurture it, protect it, and your entire life will begin to shift in ways that feel destined, divinely timed, and unmistakably aligned with the highest version of who you are meant to become. 9. Your identity is the portal through which your future enters your life. Most people try to change their lives while keeping the same identity, the same beliefs, the same reactions, the same fears, and the same patterns. They don't realize that identity is the true gatekeeper of reality. You cannot step into a higher timeline while carrying the identity of your lower one. The life you want, the peace, the confidence, the success, the abundance, the purpose does not respond to your wishes or your effort alone. It responds to who you are. Your identity is the portal through which your future enters your physical world. When you evolve your identity, you open the portal. When you resist that evolution, you keep the portal locked. Identity is the story you tell yourself about who you are. It lives in your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your expectations, and your standards. If your inner story says, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve more," "Life is hard," "Things never work out for me," or "I'll always struggle," then you are unconsciously tuning into a timeline where those beliefs are true. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because your identity cannot perceive opportunities that contradict the story it believes. Your mind will always try to keep your life consistent with who you think you are. This is why the biggest breakthroughs happen the moment you decide to rewrite your identity, not your circumstances. The highest version of your future already exists, but it cannot merge with a version of you who still thinks like the past. That future requires a new pattern of thinking, a new emotional baseline, a new standard of self-respect, a new level of worthiness. When you shift your identity, you change the instructions you are sending to the universe. You tell the quantum field, "I am no longer available for the realities that match my old self. I am now aligned with a higher timeline." And suddenly, your reality begins changing in ways that seem impossible at first. People treat you differently. Opportunities you never saw before come into view. Experiences that belong to your old self begin falling away. This is not luck. It is frequency. It is identity-based alignment. The mistake most people make is trying to achieve a dream using the mindset of someone who has not grown into that dream yet. They want abundance while living with scarcity patterns. They want confidence while speaking to themselves with self-doubt. They want love while holding on to wounds and fears shaped by the past. They want success but carry habits built from survival, not growth. They want a new life but keep showing up as an old version of themselves. The universe cannot give you something your identity is not ready to hold. This is why your future pulls you, challenges you, and sometimes shakes your entire life. Not because everything is going wrong, but because the old identity is being forced to break. The universe knows that the blessings waiting for you cannot fit through the doorway of who you used to be. You are being asked to expand. You are being asked to let go. You are being asked to release patterns that no longer match the timeline you're stepping into. Every difficulty you face, every lesson you repeat, every emotional trigger you encounter is not random. It is an invitation to upgrade your identity so you can align with the reality that belongs to you. When you begin acting, thinking, feeling, and deciding like the version of yourself who has already achieved what you want, you open the portal. You collapse the distance between timelines. You create a bridge between the present and the future. You stop waiting for life to change and start embodying the change. Your identity becomes the energetic signature that calls your future into the present moment. This is why breakthroughs feel sudden. They happen the moment your identity becomes compatible with the timeline you desire. So understand this with absolute clarity. Your future is not waiting for a better time. It is waiting for a better identity. The moment you become the person who can hold the blessing appears. Not because it suddenly came into existence, but because you finally stepped through the portal that was always open to you, the portal created by your identity. Your dream is real. Your future is real. Your highest timeline is real. And the version of you who lives that reality already exists. When you shift your identity, you rise to meet them. 10. The quantum field responds to your inner stability, not your outer struggle. One of the greatest secrets of manifestation, And one of the hardest for people to accept is that the universe does not respond to pressure, desperation, or struggle. It responds to emotional stability. It responds to inner clarity. It responds to the grounded, calm, steady energy of someone who knows exactly where they are going, even if the path isn't visible yet. Most people believe they need to push harder, force outcomes, chase opportunities, or constantly be in motion to get closer to their dreams. But in the quantum field, frantic energy actually pushes what you want further away because it communicates to the universe that you don't believe it's yours. Inner stability, not outer intensity, is what collapses timelines. When your mind is chaotic, your energy becomes chaotic. Doubt scrambles your frequency. Fear disturbs your alignment. Desperation tells the universe you are trying to grasp something you do not believe you already have access to. The quantum field mirrors the vibration you carry, not the volume of your effort. When you are panicking, the universe reflects confusion back to you. When you are fearful, the universe mirrors that fear. But when you become emotionally centered, calm, steady, trusting, and grounded, the universe reflects stability back into your reality. It delivers experiences that match your inner state. This is why people who are deeply aligned often receive breakthroughs effortlessly. It is not because life is easier for them, it is because their energy is stable. They know who they are becoming. They trust the timing. They understand that rushing will only distort the path. When your inner world becomes steady, your frequency becomes clear. And when your frequency is clear, the universe has no resistance in sending you what you desire. You become a magnet, not a hunter. You attract naturally because nothing inside you is blocking the flow. Inner stability also means refusing to let temporary circumstances control your emotional state. When setbacks happen, you don't collapse. When delays appear, you don't assume failure. When people disappoint you, you don't abandon your vision. This level of emotional resilience signals to the quantum field that you are aligned with a higher timeline and will not be shaken out of it. The universe responds to consistency. When you hold your frequency even during uncertainty, you accelerate the timeline of your manifestation. Your stability tells the universe, I am already aligned with the reality I desire. I don't need proof to stay steady. Stability is not silence. It is inner authority. It is the calm knowing that the version of you who has everything you want is steady, grounded, unbothered, and certain, not because they have the blessing, but because they are the blessing. They possess the internal power that makes external results inevitable. When you embody that energy, the future rushes toward you because the universe only delivers big blessings to those who have the capacity to hold them without collapsing emotionally. Inner stability also dissolves resistance. Resistance is the force that delays your manifestations, not lack of action. Resistance shows up as fear, overthinking, frustration, comparison, impatience, and self-doubt. But when you cultivate emotional stability, resistance melts away. And once resistance is gone, the universe flows through your life effortlessly. Suddenly, what once felt impossible becomes easy. What once seemed distant begins arriving. What once required years of effort begins showing up with synchronicity and precision. Inner stability is power. It is alignment. It is energetic authority. It is the state of being where you no longer try to force life to behave a certain way because you trust the intelligence of the universe more than the illusions of the moment. When you reach this level of inner coherence, your vibration becomes so pure, so clear, and so magnetic that the quantum field has no choice but to deliver the reality that already exists for you. Your stability becomes the bridge between timelines. It becomes the energetic doorway through which your blessings enter your life. So understand this clearly. Your dream is not waiting for more effort. It is waiting for more alignment. It is not waiting for you to struggle harder. It is waiting for you to believe deeper. It is not waiting for you to chase. It is waiting for you to stabilize. When your inner world becomes anchored, grounded, and emotionally centered, the universe accelerates everything toward you. What seemed far becomes close. What seemed difficult becomes simple. What seemed delayed becomes inevitable. Because in the quantum model of reality, stability is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. And when you embody that strength, you become unstoppable. When you truly understand everything we've talked about, desire, alignment, belief, identity, timelines, inner stability, and the quantum field, you begin to see your life differently. You realize that nothing you want is far away. Nothing you desire is impossible. Nothing in your heart is random. You are not chasing a future. You are remembering one. You are not trying to create a reality from nothing. You are aligning with the version of yourself who already lives it. Every desire, every vision, every dream is a sign that the universe has already prepared a place for you, and your soul is simply guiding you to step into it. You start to see that your obstacles were not punishments, but recalibrations. Your delays were not denials, but divine timing unfolding with precision. Your heartbreaks, your confusion, your challenges were not signs of failure. They were lessons that shaped you into someone stronger, clearer, wiser, and more aligned with the timeline that belongs to you. The universe was never working against you. It was preparing you, protecting you, positioning you. Every moment of your journey has been leading you toward the version of yourself who is capable of holding the life you've been dreaming of. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are becoming. You are aligning. You are evolving into the identity that matches your highest timeline. And every time you choose trust over doubt, every time you elevate your perspective, every time you tune into the energy of the life you desire, you accelerate your path. You collapse timelines. You open portals. You shift realities. The universe responds faster to your inner state than it ever will to your outer struggle. And the moment you decide that your dream is already yours, truly, deeply, undeniably yours, everything begins to rearrange in your favor. So breathe, relax into your path, walk like the blessing already belongs to you, think like it's already unfolding. Feel it in your heart as if it has already happened. Let your identity rise to meet your future. Let the old version of you fall away. Let your belief become unshakable. Let your inner state become your greatest source of power. Because when you align your energy with the reality you desire, the universe has no choice but to deliver it. You are not hoping. You are not wishing. You are not trying. You are remembering. You are aligning. You are claiming what has always been yours. Everything you want, the peace, the success, the abundance, the opportunities, the transformation, the new life, already exists. And with every breath, you are moving closer to it, faster than you think, closer than you imagine, guided in ways you cannot yet see. Trust the pull. Trust the timing. Trust the process. Your future is not ahead of you, it is calling you. And your only job now is to answer.